Harry Verriger.
What do you give me to do?
Keep everybody quiet and in line.
Josh, shut it up.
Because I said so. All right. Hey, Dave, are you playing video games this morning, or are you? What are you doing?
Yeah, I've got a couple video games I'm neck deep in right now. Actually,
Okay.
I'm doing a presentation right after this, so I've got to be
Oh,
online
okay.
for that.
You told Jason that you were playing Call of Duty and you couldn't make it. So.
Jason and I just tag teamed each other, so.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Today is the 5th of March. And it's a beautiful day out today. A little weird, right? Yesterday with the orange sky, the dust, kind of an odd deal. But welcome to 1 Million Cups, Northeast Tarrant County. You can see here that we are one of the top three. I wish I could. Okay, there it goes. We're one of the consistently the top three communities in the country, and you can see that we've been highlighted by the Kauffman Foundation in our particular sector of the country, the southwest portion, for our attendance, for our consistency, for our quality of programming, and for the use of our QR code. So take a brief second to scan this QR code, if you don't mind. And what this does is this registers you attending today. No, you're not going to get any spam or anything like that. It just lets us know that we have so many X number of people attending today at our particular community. So I'm doing it right now. That's why I'm multitasking here. And I expect you guys to be doing the same. And when you enter your email, after you hit next, it tells you get a little congratulatory deal. And then if you hit next again, it says this morning we have 106 communities and 23,000 people meeting this morning. It's pretty cool. And one dog. He's in the back. Was in the back. Yes. Okay. So for those of you who might be new, we did refresh our presentation. Thank you to Michon Landry for doing this, but really it's free. It's a national program that's free. We're blessed to have it at this location. It's designed to educate, engage, and connect all of us on a weekly basis, and to help our entrepreneurs and aspiring entrepreneurs to have at least one clearly defined path for resources in their community. And I wanted to stop here. I took a picture of something recently that I thought was really interesting. If I can find it here. Talks about it. It's just talks about entrepreneurship. Oh, shoot, I can't find it. I'll find it and I'll bring it up later. But our key pillars, one thing to keep in mind, and many of you have presented before, and many of you have seen the presentations, is that these aren't pitches like a Flex Seal guy, late night, talking about the Flex Seal or some new pharmaceutical drug. This is a presentation about your business, what you do, how you do it, and what kind of opportunities and challenges you have in front of you. And then you basically get feedback from everyone in the room, and we coalesce and combine forces and ideas to help further your business. If you want to know who we are and what we're all about, we serve the following cities on this map. So essentially, we're Northeast Tarrant County. If you've wondered like what area is ours, we are Northeast Tarrant County, and we serve all these cities. We are safe, supportive, inclusive, diverse, respectful, and considerate. We all get along. We're kind of like a family here. So if this is your first time, give it a couple weeks, and you'll find yourself more and more comfortable with us, and you'll find yourself becoming more interested in what we're doing here. Again, thank you to Mike Crow I know Synergy thanked him as well this morning, but for Mike Crow and Tex Inspect, we would not have this particular room available to us over the last few years, in addition to the beautiful spread that Belinda provides us every Wednesday morning. So thanks to Mike Crow. Our organizer group, we have a great group of organizers. In fact, Dave's off. He's off camera right now because he's playing video games, but his off camera image is the same exact image as his organizer image here. And if you're wondering, Steven loves suspenders. Darlisa likes taking pictures while she's shopping. Elizabeth likes to garden. And if you're wondering about Dave, what motivates him, participation medals motivate him. So if you want him to do something, offer him a little participation medal or a little trophy.
And you have to admire that consistency in the imaging there.
Yes. We don't want to overdo your copyright. And then of course we have Josh, Gary, me, Sean, and myself and Tana. So who's who in the room? This is our opportunity to ask anybody to come on up and speak in the microphone about who you are, what you do, and maybe how did you hear about us? So would anybody like to volunteer to come on up and introduce themselves to us? If nobody volunteers, then I'm going to pick on people. Yeah, come on back. Okay.
So I'm reintroducing myself. I'm SJ Murdoch, formerly of Tech Fort Worth, no longer with Tech Fort Worth, open agent, open to opportunities. But that said, I still have connections. I still have my connections. So I still want to like support the community.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for coming. Come on up.
Hi, my name is Denisha Jones. I am a business owner who creates vacations for people within the DFW area. And my business is called Intuition Stays.
Anybody online would like to introduce themselves?
Dave introduced himself this morning.
Okay, so in addition to collecting participation medals, I am a life coach and a public speaking coach with Your Next Perfect Step. Happy to announce that we have a new class that's forming 2 weeks from today. And today is the last day you can grab the early bird special on that pricing. So if you're interested, just give me a shout sometime today. Otherwise, we'll look forward to filling the class in the next couple of weeks. And that's who I am. I tell people I learned about 1 million cups when my wife and I were visiting Athens, Georgia, and we dropped in on the Chamber of Commerce, and they invited us to sit in and have a cup of coffee with them. So thank you.
Anybody else online? Crystal?
We do Mary. Mary's on. She hasn't announced done hers in a while.
We can do Mary and Crystal if they so choose to.
Hey guys, this is
No. Let me clarify. Not at the same time, separately.
then Crystal gets to go first.
No, you're good, Barry. I was saying go ahead. Because I did introduce myself the last few times.
Okay. I'm Mary with Mary Kay Skincare and Cosmetics. Reminder that sunscreen is your friend, not only to protect you from the harmful rays of the sun, but also the blue light from your phone and computer. How did I learn about 1 million cups? I've had the honors of hanging out with us since we started, 5 years ago?
Thank you, Mary.
Greg, you have somebody else who wants to talk real quick. Hold on. Oh. Get up there and you can say something. That's what you want to say.
What's your name?
Angel Leslie Sampson.
And what company are you with?
See,
She just wants to tell you about Peppa Pig.
Yeah, who's that in your hand? What's in your hand?
Baby Peppa Pig.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Thank you. I can't escape it, Elizabeth.
I know you can't.
Yeah, where's the Peppa figures?
I know. Jeez, it's in my dreams. I eat and sleep it. Crystal, did you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Crystal Sanders with Dallas Dent Company, specializing in auto hail repair, being dents, scratches, and collisions. So anytime you have any issues with your body of your vehicle, just give me a holler and I'm there to take care of you.
Thank you, Crystal. Okay, I found this this post that I saw on my Facebook that I thought would be good for today. So the top 10 careers that frequently produce millionaires in America. So if you're looking for a career and you want to become a millionaire, these are the top 10. Number 10 is financial advisor and planner. Number 9 is a sales professional. Someone who's very successful in high-end sales. Number 8 are corporate executives and management. 7, real estate professionals, brokers and developers. 6, accountants and CPAs. Stephen. 5, engineers. 4, lawyers. 3, medical doctors and surgeons. 2, investment bankers. And who anybody want to guess what number 1 is?
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans? Being on OnlyFans. Correct.
Features.
Produce the most millionaires?
Heard that somewhere.
I think teachers were number 11. Number 1 is entrepreneurs. Owning and scaling a successful business provides the most direct path to wealth. So entrepreneurs are number 1. If anybody wants it, I can email it to them. Okay. Well, thank you guys. I'd like to introduce our guest speaker. He's no stranger to us, typically online, former organizer who didn't get along with us, and so he quit over the holiday. But Jason Madden is the founder of MadLogic. It's a Fort Worth-based tech company focused on automation and workflow solutions for small business. He has a background in full stack development and AI-driven automation. He built his product that he's going to talk about today, which is a SaaS platform. Anybody know what SaaS stands for? SaaS? Software as a service. If you ever wonder what SaaS, you're reading about that. That helps teams streamline and manage operations. He's passionate about making managed solutions and AI accessible for small business teams, helping them work smarter and scale efficiently. We're lucky to have Jason as a part of our community. Jason, welcome. Thank you.
Right. I'm a little rusty. I haven't presented in a while, so we'll kind of ease into it. So it's been a while since I presented, maybe a year or so. So I thought I would kind of catch everyone up what I've been working on. So the moving finish line has always been that I needed to do a more widespread release on the software. So far I've been doing a lot of more consulting work and building on top of my platform on more of a one-off scenario. But the end goal is always to make it more accessible to just the general user. So I'm finally, I did an alpha release about 2 weeks ago, so it's ready for new users, anyone that wants to experiment with it. But we still have a lot of work until I'm happy with it, and I don't know that I ever will be, but I think it's just part of the game. But 2 things we're working on right now is Zapier integration, and if you're familiar with Zapier or not familiar, so small business, we have 10 different subscriptions we need and have all set up, but there's no way to join some of them together, and you get data in one thing and there's things that happen in the other one you want to do somehow connect them. Well, Zapier is a way that you can automate things or use it as a way to move data from one side to another and make sure that you kind of get everything matched up together. So my pet peeve is that we have all these different resources that don't talk to each other, and right, data is you need that to make action for your business, and not, you don't want to have to do all the work to handhold it. So I'm trying to tie it together, but at the same time, Zapier is a good tool for that. So if I can plug into that ecosystem, then that's I think critical. But AI agents, that's the new wave right now that is happening, and I'll go more into this kind of because that's more what my presentation's geared towards. So I'm exploring how I can help other people use AI in their business. And then I know that not everyone is using it as much as me. So I'm hoping I can help others do that. And then also gain the knowledge of what people need and what I can build to kind of work together with that. So AI agents is my new nerd topic right now. So but anyway, so constantly I feel like we make our problems for ourselves because we keep wanting to grow our business, and also we're always limited on resources. So we either need money or time. It seems to be kind of like the two major things. So and AI is a way to solve some of that. It's not the end all be all solution. And right now I think it is really overhyped. So we are getting a lot of cool features and a way to save time, but you can't really let it run off on its own with anything, because it gets easily confused, or what you give it is too complex and it can't break it down. So it takes a little bit of massaging. So and yeah, so really the battle is, can I make AI do it, or do I need to hire someone and delegate? So I think AI is a good solution for a lot of things. So like I will say productivity wise, I've gained, I don't know, 15, 20 hours a week on incorporating it in what I do, but I don't know that I'm actually like, I'm not working less. It's just I'm using it to supplement things that I'm either weak on, or as like a cheat code for just software or writing emails. So I honestly started out using it to write emails, and my response would be very angry, and I would tell it to make it nice, and then who I was writing it for. So it was kind of like a therapy thing, but I could copy and paste it. And that was like how I started. And then it started getting really good at coding. So that was the next step. And the coding part really, it's very good. So a lot of people are making really cool solutions using just purely AI generated code. They have no idea what it does, but they are able to make it work. But then as you scale up and get big, you've missed all the maintainability steps, and you can't really fix it. So so it's really good to build things, but if you don't know what you're doing for like long-term coding projects, then you can get into bad spots. And I would say that it's probably like that for different expertises too. So if you're SEO, then you suddenly feel like you're an expert and use it because it generates good things that sound right, but it probably is not the best thing. So it's like, get you to C level, probably you need someone to get to A level. So but some cool things that you can do is analytics. So if you're not good with spreadsheets, or you just have a bunch of data that you want to look at and build different like views into what your data gives you, then you can just have it spit out things and it is pretty good. But you have to double check it and make sure it makes sense. And then so to go in about agents, right now, Chat GPT is not an agent. It is the chat interface. So you have to give it context, describe your problem, give it some data so that it can respond, and then it's able to give you something. Well, agents is the hot thing in the, I'll say when you're going to talk to a VC right now, they're looking at like, what can you make AI do to automate the whole process and not just one thing? So an agent is kind of like, simple one is like schedule an appointment with so and so and send them an email, put it on my calendar. So it's you kind of breaking down 3 or 4 things into one action, and you want the AI to take care of it, and then you don't have to think about it anymore. But there are some platforms that will do that, but it's at the same time it's can go AWOL, like maybe it writes the wrong person, or you get it says something that you wouldn't normally say, so it is a little incorrect. So people we're not ready to trust it yet, but it helps with assisting you along the way. So what I'm kind of exploring now, and this will be part of the Q&A for me to you, is if you're using AI, what are you using it for? What are you comfortable designing your prompts, or do you understand what a prompt is? Do you feel limited on like you don't understand what you can do with it? Those types of things. So, and then what are you willing to pay for to get help on it? So to build my AI part in my software, I kind of am like trying to figure out how I can fund the development without having to sell equity in the business to get external funding or go into a loan. So I'm kind of trying to help people do it, and then I in turn am just going to use that revenue to help pay my developers to build it. So right now I'm experimenting with helping businesses do prompting or analyzing some of their processes to see where AI may be able to come in and help, and kind of go beyond just like generating a blog post or like just writing emails. So they kind of go in the next level where you can do research with it. So right now they call the features deep research or deep search, and ChatGPT, Grok, and I think Perplexity. These are 3 that are pretty cheap, with like $20 subscriptions, but you can give it a prompt, like a question. You can do like market analysis. So I want to see what my competitors are, go out, look at their pricing, compare my pricing, and give me a report. So things like that. So are people comfortable with that, or is that a service you would pay for and you don't have to have the subscriptions for it, that sort of thing? So I'm interested in finding out if that's the option. And then are you looking to plug AI into your business? So I have a friend right now that is exploring attaching a quote chat bot to their website. So basically they're setting up a list of prices, and the chat bot can read your website, understand what your business is, look at your pricing sheet, and you can people can have a conversation with it, and then it spits out a price quote. So the risk is your quote becomes so far off that you are trying to give someone a price that you wouldn't agree with. So that's kind of where the science part is. Are we exploring that and making sure that that's correct? And then what other hooks can we do besides that to just make it like a push of a button versus you having to go to an external platform and using it? So, okay. So I'm here at the question part. So feedback is, I want to know how you're using it, if you don't mind sharing. If you're not using it, why not? What do you find the most frustrating? And then what are your concerns about AI, if you have any? So ethical, I'm interested because right now consciousness is a big topic in tech. I'll call it tech Twitter, the tech bros. So it's like the merge of philosophy and technology right now. It's kind of we're waiting on like a free thinking AI. That's like the next step. So it's just kind of wild. We're talking about it. So next 5 or 6 years is like, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna open the floor up for anything.
All right. Well, John, we appreciate it.
Yep.
I'm gonna get your questions answered.
Yeah.
We appreciate the presentation that you've given us, teaching us about AI. We're glad that you got some questions up here. That way everybody can think and marinate on what they want to ask. But I know we got a couple people online. We got David and Crystal. So if you want to choose one of those real
Yeah.
quick.
Was anyone first?
David?
Yeah, Zoom will actually show you who's in the order. So I think I beat Crystal. So a couple of things that I'll comment on your questions. I know Brad over at Rocket Genie, you mentioned that example of scheduling it, and he has a process that he uses, and I don't know if it's AI based or if he's got a tool that does it, but exactly that scenario that you described, he's really good at doing that. And it you text him that you want to get together, you shoot a QR code, I think is what starts it, and then you get a text back and forth that looks like it's coming from him, but it's actually all behind the scenes. I don't know if that's an AI example or not, but he does that exact scenario you described pretty well. The other thing, why am I not using it? To me, it's just the next shiny object to chase. And as you were talking about in your presentation, there's so many things that an entrepreneur spends time on, and it's just one of those things. I don't have time to go to learn that, to try it. It just seems like I'll set that aside and worry about that later. So that's kind of why I'm not using it.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. I'm trying to what would it take for you to try it?
It would probably just take me intentionally setting aside time to do it.
To do it.
So yeah, so it may be something as simple as you and I sitting down for a one-on-one, but actually carving out time to play with AI. So
okay.
That may be the nudge that I need.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, we pick something and just like, yeah. Okay. Yep. So.
And then Crystal. And after Crystal, we'll go over here with Craig.
Yeah, so funny thing is actually yesterday I downloaded Chat GPT and signed up. I thought I was going to have to pay for it, but I don't know if it's giving me a free trial. It didn't say free trial, but literally I just created the account and it let me start utilizing it. So I'm sure there's other points to the system that if I used it that they probably would charge me, but I used it to help me with the PowerPoint, not to the point where it created my PowerPoint for me, but there was a lot of information that was all really good information, but to put it on a PowerPoint for the intentions that I needed it for, would have been like an hour long, let's say, more intense PowerPoint than what I needed. Together as a like kind of just like bullet all the information for me. And even though I used the AI, it still took me an hour to finish it. And I say that because I was, finding photos and putting this and that. And those there were personal photos, not me asking AI to find the photos for me. And so, but it did help me without having to go and do that myself. So that was helpful. But before then, I used it when I was working at the dealership. We had it for, for our responses. So if we typed our own personal response, we could utilize the AI technology. I'm not sure what it was called, but it could, skew the message to be, you could say you want it to be more professional, you want it to be more personal. I didn't really care for it too much. I used it sometimes when it was more in depth of what I was trying to explain. But you would, like you said, you always want to go back and you want to, check it and make sure it's correct, because sometimes you would just, use it without like if somebody was just going to use it without putting their personal touch to it. And, let's just say somebody was looking at a Chevy truck and, I told the AI assistant Sarah to respond back for me, and she's starting to talk about a Toyota, right? And so that was very common with that system there, of that happening, to where you have to be more specific in order for it to catch what your meaning is. But if I wasn't using, well, if I wanted to use it more, what would help me is, like you said, having a app that kind of does everything at once, right? Like where it could have my CRM, I could do, Power, I could do everything, anything and everything I want to do, I can do it right then and there. And so whether that be, your app that you have and you do classes that you teach people on, about it and how to utilize it and show that it's a lot more user friendly than it is scary.
Yep. Okay. Yep. And by the way, so the free models are not as smart as the ones that you pay for. So that's the difference. So I haven't kept track of what they kept free, but normally the ones on like the current model, they're substantially smarter than the previous, except on ChatGPT, the 4.5 was a bad release. They rushed it because of being under pressure. So, but yeah.
All right, Craig.
Yeah, I think to your question, if you're using AI, what tools are you using? I think if anybody here uses Google to search for stuff,
It's there.
they've already used AI. And same with Facebook. So the answer is, I think we all are using it. We just may not know we're using it. And to that point, I think for adoption to occur, or wider adoption,
That's how it has
it's
to
gonna
be.
be subconsciously. In addition to trust, I think there's the trust factor. Is it accurate? Will it work for me? So there's subconscious, the trust, and then the third component is, how is it going to, what's the return on investment for me? Is it gonna save time or make me more money?
Yeah, did you have anything to say to that?
No, I'm just pondering it.
Well, I'm a banker now, so at my bank, I know we've talked about it, and we're actually looking into having an AI platform on the internal side for us, because a big part of that is security issues, and so we aren't willing to put our customers' information into ChatGPT or these
Right.
other AI platforms. I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about how secure that is internally on your own platform.
Yeah. So if you pay enough with ChatGPT, they have an enterprise version that they won't train on the data. So, but you can download and run your own language model. So like it can be on premise hosted, and you can control what it has access to, and it's not going to go out of the network. So that's like another layer of trust that you can do. So, Microsoft, I would assume AWS, but I stick with Microsoft cloud hosting. So they have a service called OpenAI, which is it's the same thing that ChatGPT is built on top of. So ChatGPT is kind of this chat layer, and it uses OpenAI to do some of the responses. So it does a lot of automation on how that gets a response. But Azure side, you can build it and use it, and they have all their like HIPAA and all of their data safety things. So you don't have to host it yourself. You can use a service, but it has to be built against it. So, but that service is like, you can find a product that will say I can connect to that, and then you use that to connect to, and you can be there. So there are a lot of good options for it, but like everything that is popular right now, it just like a personal like paid plan, they're all just taking the data and training on it. So you have to be kind of careful about what you share. So yeah.
All right, we're gonna go Mary and then back here, over here with this lady. So we got Mary on the Zoom.
Yeah, great presentation. When it comes to using AI, I kind of have some of this stuff, like you say, I use it. What keeps me, and this kind of addresses a little bit what Dave said, what keeps me from wanting to use it more, in addition to the whole data, selling that stuff, is that to make it work well, you actually have to invest time in it to make it do what you want it to do. So that you have to learn it like any other new skill. You have to take the time to learn the skill to make it work the way that you want it to, and to hire somebody like you to help make it get, to shortcut it. That's where the oxymoron comes in, just because my husband's also in tech. It's like, we want all the bells and whistles, but to pay for the bells and whistles for as high as we want what we want, that's what it becomes kind of the challenge is. Yes,
Right.
it'd be nice to have some of this AI stuff to do it, but I don't have the 90 hours to make it smart enough to do it the way I need it to do it. And so that's where the frustration factor comes in, of why then I just go back to the personal touch. And the other thing that as you're working through it, how to help people feel like they're just not they're not human, because that is part of what I believe 99% of the people we're fighting back against is, I'm not a robot, nor do I want to become one, when people interact with me, because that is one of the biggest turnoffs for me personally when interacting with somebody else. The second I feel like you're AIing me, you're probably not getting my business.
Okay. So like from what standpoint, like your AI and me, like if it's a sales email or something, if it feels like it's email, then it would alienate you. Is that what you were saying?
What I'm saying is that when you can, for instance, a lot of times as AI techniques coming back, and Crystal referred to it a little bit, is when you make a human comment and the bot isn't smart enough to understand the nuances of the human, like,
Oh, right. Okay.
like, for instance, one of my girls literally was going back and forth, and we figured out, hey, if you want us to do this, we want to come and meet you in person. And because they're not used to seeing an in-person comment, that's when we found, it's like, no, I'm more than willing to do a cashier's check. And it's like, what, you could then tell it was a bot, and it's like, oh, peace out.
Yep.
Does that?
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Hi, Robin Murray. I do nonprofit and business consulting and one-on-one coaching. So thank you so much for the topic. I love AI.
Yeah.
So as far as what I use it for, I've used it for things from creating logos to spitting out wording and information around certain interests that folks have. I've used it to come up with flyers and ideas for wording on flyers for so many things. And as far as like what I need help with, some of the things that I think about is being able to respond to important news. So it would be really great if there was something that would pull pieces of information that's important to me or my clients from the web, and align it with our identity as a business, as well as what's relevant to us as a company right now, so that I can make a quick response to said news.
Okay.
The other thing is, it would be really good to understand the interest of my clients by pulling their social media up and using internal content from communications or meetings, pulling all that data together and saying, hey, here are the top 5 things that your clients are interested in. So that's something I'm interested in. And then as far as like frustrations, of course, technology moves so quickly, and you want to use technology in a way that's efficient. So I'm concerned about not being able to keep up with.
I feel like that too.
Huh?
I feel like that too. It's like
Yeah.
like every other week is a leapfrog, and you have to switch
Exactly.
platforms.
You're like, what's the new thing? To make things more efficient. And then also there's so many AI platforms, some specific to certain needs, some very general. And so, just knowing like how to navigate which would be better for my needs, because there are so many out there.
All right.
Oh,
And I think we had Michael.
All right, thank you. Jason, what software do you use the AI for to help you with your emails besides Grammarly like?
ChatGPT and Claude, both, but I do copy and paste it. So it's like I'll copy the email out, put it in, and kind of like write out the response and then copy it back. So it's kind of an external thing. But if you use Google Gmail, the web one, it has they call it Gemini is their product, and it's integrated inside of Gmail. So I think on the business side, they don't turn it on for free, but on the personal side, they do have it. So you can kind of play with it there too. But mostly I copy and paste. I like ChatGPT because I've built like, if you go through and set up all the settings, you can explain who you are and how you want it to respond to things. And it just saves me time not having to reset it every time. Like I'm a tech.
It writes the email for you?
Yeah. So
Oh,
yeah, so you give it there's a setting that says I don't remember the exact setting, but it's like every time you generate a new prompt, it's like it will load this paragraph and you can say who you are. And if you're writing something for someone, you can set up I want to sound semi-professional but casual, so I'm not a bot, sound like a robot, because and I hate that uses the double hyphen thing everywhere, and I don't write like that. So if I see that in someone's content, I know that's probably not been edited. And I don't know why that one. And then it'll always start an email. Hope you're doing well or something. It uses the same intro every time. So you kind of have to clean that up, but you can manipulate it. And I set that up in my preset up prompt, but yeah, so
I'm sorry I'm so long. It was a good answer.
Yeah.
Sorry. Now, as far as I was concerned, I use a couple AIs, and the one that saves me a lot of time is Otter. So I used to, when I'd write everything up, then I have to retype it into Word, or I could type directly into Word, but sometimes it was complex enough I had to write everything down. So now when you use Otter AI, you can speak it, you speak it into the phone, and it dictates it for you, and you can print it. Then you can cut and paste it and whatever you want with that. Also, you may want to jot this down. I was on LinkedIn early a couple of years ago, and now it's everywhere on LinkedIn AI. But Allie K. Miller, ALLIE K. Miller, she has like a bunch of followers. Over a million.
Yeah, I think.
We'll go.
But this is recorded, so I'm gonna go back and look at the note. Actually, so what I do sometimes, YouTube, people have good content, but they are long-winded. I'll take the transcript and copy it and then put it in ChatGPT to give me the bullet point list, so I don't have to actually watch it. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we'll go Terry, then we'll go to Zoom, and then Charlotte. Or Elizabeth.
Thanks, Jason,
Sorry.
for all of your wonderful knowledge. I use it every Tuesday because I put a Terry Tuesdays tips out on Facebook. So whatever my subject is, I put a picture up and then I'll go to ChatGPT, put in a subject, and it'll give me bullet points on some of the things that I'm asking for. I do have to clean it up a little bit here and there just to make it more personalized, but it works really well and it does save a lot of time. And again, same thing for emails, or if there's just a topic that somebody's asking me that I don't know about, you can put that topic in and it'll give you great information.
Okay. So social media. How many people are using it for social media? If you don't mind.
Don't be shy.
Yeah. So that's okay. That's a lot lower than I thought.
Okay, we're gonna do Zoom real quick. So we have one on Zoom.
Darlisa.
Darlisa, all right.
One thing, and thank you for the presentation. So, okay, I don't have a question. Mine is more like a comment and then maybe answering the questions you have on the screen. So my frustration, I kind of echo Mary's sentiments. Like, I think for me, I feel like it's kind of like a false narrative in my mind. So if I'm going to spend all the time to put all these prompts and put all this information in, then I'm just kind of creative enough to think that I'm articulate enough to be able to create the thing, right? So that's where my frustration is, like spending the time to create the prompts just to tell me something that I probably would have said anyway if I would have spent the time. But I will say this, so Jason helped me to go through this process for like I create a lot of RFPs and reports and things like that. And I will say that I was blown away because he was able to kind of pull all this information into the system, and it did start just spitting out information, right? And I think I was still more puzzled because one, I guess I didn't realize I don't know what to put in it to get the result that I need. So that's the frustration. So I'm just like, well, never mind. I just keep doing it the way I've been doing it. So I think for me, it's definitely a learning curve to know how to use it to my benefit, where I don't feel like I'm spending the same amount of time to do what I was probably gonna do anyway, if that makes sense. But when he helped, it was beneficial, but that's because he knew what he was doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, so I'm guilty of it too. I like to code. So I try not to use it in some ways because that's a part of my day I enjoy, and I just use AI for all the stuff I hate. So I think it's like it's nice for that.
Aaron?
Is there still time?
Yeah,
We're getting a little low. So
Yeah.
Aaron,
Okay, I just wanted to touch on the social media thing. Like, it's not, I think everybody's making it sound like it's extreme. Like, I detail cars, so like, I'll just type in, write an or an Instagram post on this Cadillac I just detailed, and it'll literally like type out a whole like explanation. I'm not like articulate, so I know where my weak points are. I'm not a good speaker.
Yeah.
But it'll like put like emojis in there and everything. Like if you say optimize it for Instagram, it'll put emojis and make it sound like you're human. You might have to touch up a few things. And then another thing I use it for is like I'll make videos for social media and I don't know what to say. So I'll just say, write a script for this car that I'm detailing, this red, whatever, and it'll like literally tell me what to say, and you can just like print it off if you have to, like read it. So that works really well. And then I also have used that Grok AI. It works really well. Like for just making a post, I think for Chris Armadillo Auto Spa, I said put an armadillo in a van driving a van. It literally made a picture of a armadillo driving a van. So like,
nice.
Yeah.
and it's really easy. It's not, you don't have to know how to do scripts. Just say, draw a picture of a van and it'll spit it out.
All right, then we'll go to Miss Beautiful Elizabeth,
Okay, and then we'll wrap up, I guess.
and then
One more.
depends, maybe
Okay.
one more.
I was just gonna plug a group that Jason started on Facebook. I guess it's called Practical AI for Business for Tarrant County. And I think it would be really cool if we all were joining this group and kind of anytime we run into something. I know I use ChatGPT. I love it. I'm hoping to learn Canva's AI tools. We use something within the city in our department when we need to take meeting minutes. We have a software that they take a recording and it puts it into, a Word document so that our admin person can then summarize everything that's been said in the meeting. It really saves her a lot of time. So I just think it would be a good opportunity for all of us to get on this group
There's a
that
bunch
Jason
out there.
created and just say, hey, look, I'm using this, and look what I was able
Once
to
you
do
get
with
over
it. And then we can get
Yeah,
ideas
3,000
from each
people.
other. But right now it only has 19 members. So you
Just
need
brings
to
it
be
this way.
able to, it's called Practical AI for Business, North Tarrant County, and it's a public group on Facebook.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
So you had a question in the back?
Okay, I just a couple places.
I got time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I use it for, well, I'm using it for my job search. I'm using it to help tailor resumes to, applications. I ask it to like look for keywords in the application and make sure that they are sprinkled in my resume. I think there are other ones like JobRite or JobSite, like that are like, can also help search for you. I'm also using it for grad school. That's a little bit gray area, but I use it, I still do my own research, but I can use like Notebook LM. Because the Notebook LM is a Google product that's closed. So you upload the things you want it to just use those. And so like I can upload like words and stuff into like a closed state.
Oh, and they didn't use it to train it.
I guess not, no.
Okay.
No.
I didn't know. I poke around with it, but I'm
I
not
think so,
like,
and you
there's
can
so many
upload, like,
to,
50 documents, and it includes actually MP3s. I can upload lectures, and it'll like summarize my lecture. But that said, yeah, it's all very overwhelming, and I agree, it's all coming at faster pace, and so I think we still need humans to like, hopefully drive the bus.
I feel we're plateaued. I think because every time they're better, but they still make mistakes. So, but
Regulation.
All right. Okay, all right, so,
yeah,
okay, appreciate you presenting. If there's anything, yeah, give him a hand. Is there anything, bless you, keep it quiet. Is there anything that the community can do to help you out with everything besides asking the questions?
no. If you think of something after,
Join your Facebook group.
yeah, join the Facebook group and ask. I'm trying to build out helping people do it so I can integrate it in my software and make it kind of what Craig was saying was like very user unfriendly right now. So it's like trying to make it more of a push button type thing, and push button, you come back and review it and then go from there. So that's what I want to build in. But yeah, so.
All right, so
Yeah,
if y'all
thanks for
interested,
coming up.
set up a one-on-one with him, get his information, talk to him. Like I said, you could talk to him after this, but with our presenters, we always give a cute little coffee mug. So want to present this to you. And again, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. I know we're running short on time, but does anyone have any community updates you'd like to give us before we head out?
Okay, well, real quick, Elizabeth. So,
Okay, yes.
Jason is actually doing an online presentation that goes a little bit in detail about using it to create those documents and things like that. March 14th. If you go, I can put the link in the chat or send it out or whatever, but he's doing a virtual thing.
And maybe you could do you want to put it on your Facebook group too? Would you be open to that?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Darlisa. Terry, you want to come up here and give your spiel? And anybody else, if you have anything, feel free to just come up so you can come after Terry.
All right, so I work part-time for the North Tarrant Chamber. We have our March calendars out. The one big change is that our luncheon is not the third Thursday of the month like it normally is at the Fact, because it's spring break. So we have moved it to March 14th, which is a Friday. So if you're interested in joining us for that luncheon, we're gonna have our wonderful
Economic
Right.
developers.
all kinds of great information from all the cities. They're gonna get up and tell us what's going on in their cities. So if you're interested in that luncheon, please come and register. We do have our banquet on Thursday night, and by 4 o'clock today, reservations are closed. So if you are still interested in coming to the banquet, please register today by 4 o'clock. Otherwise, we've got a couple new groups on here. And we are meeting on Friday at Synergy at the Eagle Point Bar and Grill at 10 a.m. So you guys have any questions, let me know. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Looks like we have one more in person. Anybody else online? You can come on up. Come on up over here so they can see you. Thank you.
Okay. I was gonna hop
Yeah,
up
I know.
and I was like, wait, I'll fall. All right, I always love sharing exciting news with y'all. Get off your phones, people. Stop talking. I have exciting news to share with y'all. Get off your phone. That's rude. That's rude. No, that's rude. All right, so my exciting news to share with you guys. As you guys know, I run a nonprofit. And our nonprofit helps kids that, or I say kids, young adults that have aged out of foster care. We help house 2 of our young adults on Sunday. So on, what was that, Tuesday morning when it was hailing, like I was praying to God. I was like, thank God they were not out in the middle of that. So I always like when I get to share those wonderful stories with you guys. So thank y'all for your continued support of our nonprofit and just being able to help these young people. So just like I said, I like being able to share those little stories with y'all. And Malachi will probably come and share his exciting news with you guys. He's like starting his own little business. He's like mowing lawns and stuff. So he's out just being an entrepreneur. So, yep.
That's awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Very cool. All right. Great news. Okay, this is important, everybody. I know we talked about it in Synergy, but mark your calendars. Next week is March 12th, and that's when we're taking our field trip to Caddo. So make sure you don't come here next week and you head to Caddo, which looks like this beautiful building on Davis Boulevard up near North Tarrant. If you guys have any questions of how to get there, let me know. A lot of us have already been there, so I think you're pretty familiar with the place. We are always looking for presenters. We're booked up for about the next month, but we love to have lots and lots of presenters in the pipeline. So if you are interested in presenting, please let us know. And this is a QR code, or we also have business cards we can give you with the QR to sign up to present. Again, field trip to Caddo next week. Chelsea Rose with the City of Colleyville will be there to share some information about, I believe, the Colleyville Chamber. And then as always, join all of our communities, like, share, and follow us on all of our social media channels. And of course, we like to let you all know that we are a part of the Kauffman Foundation. 1 Million Cups could not be where it is without the Kauffman Foundation. They are the ones who started this organization. And there are 1 Million Cups communities all across the nation that meet at 9 a.m. every week like we do. And so we always like to give them a shout out. And that's all we got. So thank you for being here. We'll see you at Caddo next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. See you later.